Good morning. There was a great program on last night by Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about global warming and what it is and what it does and why. And if you haven't seen it, or if the people have any doubt, allow them to see it. And it's a game changer, and I'm sure it will be available anywhere. So well produced and so well done. I want to talk to you for a minute about YouTube and some of the discussions we're having about content and about popularity and the haves and the have-nots. And I want to remind you about where we've come, where we were, and how we got here. I'm as guilty of production values as anybody because I've done them myself. Made a fancy intro and outro and done shout-outs and tried to be as much of a part of the community as I could. It was fun. We all learned a lot from that. And there are people that are now making nice livings and are able to support themselves through YouTube. But I want to remind you that YouTube is a lot more than just that. One of the most effective videos that I ever saw was a young man who got moved with his family. Of course, you usually take your children with you when you get moved. And he went from one country to the Middle East, a completely new place for him. And the first thing he did was to take his camera and to show you everything in his neighborhood. He said, you and I are going to go for a walk in my neighborhood for the very first time, in this very new place for me. And that's what happens. He takes you out, he shows you the neighborhood, what is there, and as you start to realize that your mind is being changed about this particular place. You had some sort of preconceived idea about what it was, and all of a sudden you see this video and you say, this looks a lot like where I live. This isn't all that different. It may be a little different, and sure, maybe a little more dangerous, but we're pretty much the same. And that's what YouTube has done that's so important to all of us, is it gives us a peek into everyone's life. And regardless of where you live or your condition, it gives you an idea of how someone else lives. And that hadn't been done before until we've all been brought together in this way. We can thank YouTube for this, because this is, to me, the most positive thing that YouTube has ever done. So we can discuss all we want about production values and how to be popular and how to get more views and how little views we have, but what's really important is for you to tell your story. You are unique. You have something to say to the world. You are here not just because you're here, but because you have something to add. You have something to give. And that's what our videos should do, is to say, this is who I am, this is my life, tell me about yours. By doing that, we become more tolerant, we understand more about what other people think and why, and the world becomes a better place. And that's positive. We'll see you soon.